Hello, Excessive here. Welcome to another Diablo 4 build guide. This time, we take on the Rogue. Let's get started. To start out, we take Puncture, and the only reason why is basically it's the only ranged skill that does not use the bow. That's basically it, and it's pretty good as well, and does decent damage in the beginning. So we take Puncture, and oh, need to clear it. We take Puncture, and Enhanced Puncture. Then we take Twisting Blades. Flurry is also a very good skill, but I prefer Twisting Blades over Flurry. So, Twisting Blades, Enhanced Twisting Blades, and then we take, well, start out, we take Improved Twisting Blades. Later on, when we pick up our Imbuement, we switch to Advanced Twisting Blades. But start with Improved. And then we take the Fundamental Puncture, so we have a way to apply Vulnerable. And then we take Dash, and then Shadow Step, and then Twisting Blades. 1, 2, 3. Dark Shrouds to give us some damage reduction. And then another Twisting Blade. Then we take Enhanced Dark Shrouds. So you have a 10% chance not to consume a Dark Shroud when you get hit. And then here we need to do a choice. Either you pick, so when you have at least 4 shadows active, you gain 8 critical strike chance. Or for every shadow you have active, you gain plus 4% increased movement speed. My philosophy is the faster you move, the faster you get it done. So during leveling, I would go for the movement speed. But if you prefer to have the crit, go for it. But just for this purpose, as I like the movement speed, I'm picking movement speed. And let's see. After we take Shroud, we take Enhanced Dash, and then we get down to our Imbuements. Now, Poison is probably the best boss damage. Cold is pretty good because it chills and it's a way of apply vulnerability. Although it is a lucky hit, so it doesn't always do it. But Shadow, because we have a skill called Consuming Shadows. When you have 3 points in it, every time you kill an enemy with shadow damage, you gain 30 energy. So during the leveling process, the faster you can kill or attack, the faster you can get it done. So Shadow Imbuement, I think, is the better option for the leveling part. So we take Shadow Imbuement, and then we take Enhanced Shadow, and then we take Blended Shadow for a way to apply vulnerability. Now we picked up Shadow Imbuement, then we switch Improved Twisting Blade to Advanced Twisting Blade. All right, we need to, before we pick them up, we switch and then click, because otherwise you cannot take it until you place another point. Okay, and then we take Shadow Crash. I always forget where they are. It should be down here somewhere. All right, it's this one. And then Consuming Shadows, 3 points. So we get our 30 energy every time we kill an enemy with shadow damage. Now let's see. Now we take Discipline Dash, so we apply a slow for every enemy we hit. If we hit them twice, we apply a Daze for 2 seconds. And let's see. Then we take Enhanced Shadow Step, and then we take Disciplined Shadow Step. Just so every time you use Shadow Step on a new enemy you haven't hit in 4 seconds, you reduce the cooldown by 3 seconds. Because later on, we're going to pick Momentum. And Cutthroat skills grant a stack of Momentum for 8 seconds. If you hit a stun daze of frozen enemy, hit an enemy from behind. And this one always hits from the behind, so it automatically applies 1 stack. But let's keep on going with the build. Let's see. Ding ding. Discipline Shadow. And now we take Weapon Mastery. 3 point to increase our damage. And then we take Precision. Where are you? There. Precision Imbuement. Imbuement skill gains 3% increased critical strike chance. So we have more 9%. And let's see. Shadow Imbuement and Momentum. Now we get a lot of extra damage. And then we max out Shadow Imbuement. And then we take Sturdy. You gain 12% close damage reduction, which is really good since we don't have as much damage reduction as Rogue. Then let's see. Siphoning Strike. 3 points into Siphoning Strikes. Heal for 3% of your maximum life when you critically strike close enemies. Since we have quite a lot of critical strike, we will basically heal ourselves almost all the time. And then we take Agile. I believe it's right down here. 3 points. And then we take Exploit. You deal 18% increased damage to healthy and injured enemies. Basically, when you start attacking them, you do more damage, and when they're low in health, they do more damage. So it's always good. And then we take Malice, and then we take Adrenaline Rush. I never remember where. There it is. Adrenaline Rush. So when you move, you increase your energy regeneration. And then we take Haste. Just basically energy gain when you're above 50% of your maximum energy, and below you deal plus 15%. You gain 15% increased attack speed. And that is all the skill points. Now, let's get over to our aspects and our gems. All right, specialization. I prefer Insight with Imbuements, but you can go combo points because they're real strong and will increase your damage quite a bit. Weapon, we have Emerald, increased critical strike damage against vulnerable, maximum life in all your armor, and in the jewelry, we have skulls to increase our armor. Then we have Edge Master on your amulet, just to get increased damage in all damage. On the ring, we have Aspect of Umbral, restore 1 energy when you crowd control an enemy. Dash slows when you dash through an enemy. So every time you dash through an enemy, you gain 1 energy. So if you dash through a big group and then dash back, you gain a lot of energy. And then we have whenever you kill a vulnerable enemy, you gain 50% increased energy regeneration for 4 seconds. Since our Shadow Imbuement applies vulnerable and puncture also apply vulnerable, might not be every mob, but a lot of the mobs we kill have vulnerable. So we have another 50% energy regeneration, which helps a lot. Aspect of the Might on the helm, 20% damage reduction for 2 seconds every time you use a basic skill. You gain armor every time you deal damage for 4 seconds, up to 25% extra armor. Always good for more defensive. In the gloves, your imbuement skill effect have a 20% increased potency against vulnerable enemies. So we were attacking with a basic skill give vulnerability, and Shadow Imbuement gives them vulnerability. So we're gonna hit a lot of vulnerable enemies, so we basically always do 20% extra damage. Then we have gain a free Dark Shroud every 3 seconds when standing still. Each Dark Shroud Shadow grants 2% increased damage reductions. So when you have 5 up, that's 10% extra damage reduction. Really good. And Lifesaver, when you become crowd control and injured, it grants you unstoppable for 4 seconds. We have Shadow Step, but if Shadow Step is on cooldown and you can't get out, this one will save you. And then the one that is absolutely necessary for this build to work is Blade Dancer aspect. Twisting Blade's orb for a short time after a return to you, dealing 10 to 15, but since we have it on our range bow, it's 20% per hit based on the distance the blade returns, and orbit damage increased by 20, so 40% of the return damage. So basically, your Twisting Blade deals a lot more damage. And that is the build. If you like it, leave a like. And down below in the description, I will leave a link to this build, and I will leave a link to a document containing all the information you need, like what skill to put, what point to put in what skill and what level and so on, and what aspects to use, where you find them, in what act, what dungeon, and where you put them. So I will leave that down in the description. And if you find that I missed something, or you have a question or anything, just leave a comment down below and I will get to it as soon as I can. And that's it. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.